It was the perfect marriage, they said. My family said. His family said. We said. Everybody said. And it was. We didn't rush into it. We took our time. We made sure we had as good a chance as anybody could. All our, what do they call them? All our compatibilities were where they should be, where we were happy with. Temperaments, intelligence, expectations, sex, everything. It was the perfect marriage. And it was. We were really, really in love and happy. That's the only word. Then 5 years in, a long 5 years in, this thing happened that threw everything out of joint. Our sex life was, I hate words like wonderful or deeply satisfying, but it was. We were equals in bed. Enthusiastic, passionate, understanding. And then this thing happened, and it all shifted. One night, it was an afternoon, a Sunday afternoon. We were up in the bedroom making love. The twins were at their grandparents', my parents, I think, and we were relaxed and laughing, having a really great time. We were horsing around, and by accident, my knee caught him right in the jaw. Bam! Oh, I'm sorry, I laughed. And I saw this look on his face I couldn't place, and he said, "That felt good." "No, I'm sorry," I said. "No," he said. "That felt good. I liked it. Do it again." "What?" "Do it again. Use your fist. Do it again." "No," I said. "Please, please," he begged. He actually begged. "Do it." And so I did. I gave him a swipe on the jaw. Nothing much. "Harder," he said. And I didn't like his tone. "No," I said. "Yes, harder." And his voice was ugly. And so I hit him with my fist, and it hurt. He said, a groan. And then he smiled. "You made me come," he said. And he kissed me. That was the beginning. I didn't want to. I hated it. But he was so loving and so satisfied, I guess. I was making him happy. The welts? The blood? Happy? Well, yes, it would seem. But where we'd been happy together, now he was and I wasn't. Well, making him happy had always been what I wanted and what I worked at. In bed, out. But I was crying a lot. We'd come to bed and he'd bring these things for me to use, to try, and I would do it, and it was awful, and he got off on it. Why didn't I leave? And then And then it began to change. I began to see that I wasn't hating it, that it turned me on. And that moved fast, and it got to where I couldn't wait. The cutting, the burning, the pain was what I wanted, what I had become. Hurt, pain, degradation, I was enjoying it. It turned me on, and it was all so compartmentalized. No one saw. No one knew. No one saw anything different in us. I was careful where it hurt him. He dressed heavy at his gym and didn't shower there anymore. It was just between us. No one saw. No one knew. And I'd never told anyone. And it was working. The sex worked. Our lives worked. It was just that we'd become other people. I had become other people. It seemed entirely normal. It worked. And then yesterday happened. We'd had dinner with some friends. We came home. We talked to the nanny. We said goodnight to the twins. They asked why tickling each other works, but tickling themselves doesn't. It's all about what turns you on, he said to them. What does that mean, they said. Never mind, I said. We went to our room. We got ready for bed. I put on my harness and all. I watched him undress, ran my hands over some of his scars. Off we go, I said. Why don't we just go to sleep, he said. No, I said. I've got something for you. It wasn't much, just a new way of doing something old, but better. All right, he said, shrugging, I think. We started the routine. I started cursing and I spit at him, not at his face. I saved that. He was getting with it. And then I took the gouge I'd gotten us and I put it in him, in his, And I started turning it and, that hurt! He screamed at me. That hurt me! And there was pain in it and something more. There was rage. You hurt me! And there was hatred in his eyes and spit coming from his mouth. You hurt me! And then he didn't move. And then he slapped me hard. I backed off. I'm sorry, I said. And I left our room. Him just staring at me, something in his eyes I couldn't understand. Or at least I didn't think I did. But maybe I did. Maybe I do. He doesn't want the person he turned me into anymore. Who he made me into is... What does he want? Is he through with the game? This game? Does he want me out of the leather, out of the harness? Does he want it all back the way it was before he ripped out who I was and made me into who he wanted, what he wanted? I can't go back to that. I don't know how. I don't know who I was or... Was that what I saw in his eyes even more? Does he want the leather? Is he going to strap on the harness? And am I going to learn how to hurt, to be cut? Is that what he's after? A complete turnaround? And am I going to learn to like this, become this? I probably can. I became the other. I love him so much. I love our perfect marriage so much. But if I can do this, if I can take the burns and the whippings and the knives, if I can learn to love that, become that, then I would have moved past who I was before this all began. I'll move past who I was when this all began. And I don't remember that. I don't remember her. I remember we were perfect. Everybody said so. And we said so. We were perfect. But who were we? Who was I? Who am I? I can't do anything. I can't leave. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am.